Hey everybody, Roland Smith here, Mountain Bushcrafters Alliance. Got you with me out here in the wood shop this morning, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the recess and a tenon. Okay? Now I was able to salvage this nice little piece of black walnut from a log that I had milled to make handles. So I thought I'd go ahead and turn me a little 5x5 mug out of this piece. But I want to talk to you about the recesses in this piece. The reason I prefer a recess over a tenon, if I have any issues with this piece, I can take it off the lathe and give it the attention that it needs and put it right back on the lathe without issue, without vibration, without wobbling. A recess will allow for wood movement. Okay? The reason I don't like a tenon is because I've had catches before. I've had damaged tenons and couldn't seem to get it back on the lathe just right, and it would wobble, it warp. Piece didn't look good when I was finished with it. So that's why I prefer a recess over a tenon. Once the piece is done, it's done. If I have an emergency, or if I have to leave, or whatever the case may be, and have to leave this piece on the lathe, maybe a day or two, I can go back, making sure that my chuck is tight, continue on, after checking for cracks, continue on turning the piece. Now, what I'm using is a 4-jawed Grizzly chuck, a reversible chuck. And I don't know if you can really see it or not, but this is set up to where it has to go by the numbers. I can't just take this apart and put it back together and hit work. I would have a jaw, maybe 2 jaws in the offset, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. On the base of the chuck is a 1. On the bottom of the jaw, this jaw here, there's a 1. They have to match. That means it's in tenon mode. It clamps. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. Each one is numbered. If you're going to a tenon, there's a 3 and there's a 3. See what I'm saying? If you're going for a recess, you look at the top numbers. There's numbers on the main, there they are. There's numbers on the main top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing apart and I'm just going to put it together however. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm not even going to match it up. I'm not even going to pay attention to how I'm doing it. You do have to have the threads in the right position. See how the threads start out right there at the top right there? I'm not even looking because I want to prove a point to you or show you what I had to deal with. It was kind of odd because I couldn't get it to reverse for me. And I was thinking, well, why can't I get this thing to reverse? It didn't come with instructions. So, and I was brand new to wood turn. I've had this thing for let me show you what I'm talking about here now. Just give me your time. And to me, Grizzly is by far the best you can get. Now, I didn't look at this. I didn't pay attention to the numbers. And I want to show you what I'm talking about. See how that's offset? These are touching and that's not touching. That's because I've not got the numbers. I don't have the numbers on the top matched up with the base on the chuck. Now I'm going to match them up. We're going to go by the top numbers to the base. That is a recess. Here's 1. You look for 1. Number 1 and you install it. Now you have to turn your jaws over for it to match. We're going to number 2. This is stuff they don't teach in high school. You got to go to number 3. And then the number 4, excuse me. Number 4. Now everything should touch all at the same time. See how closed? Everything's closed. Now what you do is you put your and I'll get it down there where you can see it. I just want to do it kind of square right now. These jaws will then expand, and I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to do this for the sole purpose of having it right now. And as you tighten down with tools, this will expand, holding the wood into place. And every once in a while I'm working, I will stop and check the tightening of the chuck. This will hold the piece in place. I scoop my tailstock up just enough for security. Once I get so much of it milled, then I'll remove the tailstock and I can work freely, hollowing out the inside of the mud. But that is how it's done. Kind of confusing when it comes to taking the chuck apart. And this will thread right up on the spindle of my lathe. But I got it apart because it came set up for tenon. And I don't like tenons, I like recesses. So I took it apart and I could not figure out how to put it back together and have it work right. I'd always have one or two jaws offset, not touching. And I called the Grizzly company, and they said if you're on a tenon, it's the bottom number. Match them up to the base of the chuck. If you're on a recess, go to the top number. Match it up to the base of the chuck. That will put everything in sync. That's how it works. But nevertheless, if this video's helped you, I'm going to finish this beautiful piece out. May take it down just a little bit. I don't know. Might make a smaller mug out of it. But nevertheless, I appreciate you watching. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so. Hit the notification bell, because you never know what we'll be doing from one video to the next. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. But I'm going to put that back on the lathe and get busy. That's my day today. Beer mugs and handles. This is Roll Smith Mountain Bushcrafters Alliance. As always, go farther, stay longer. And thanks for watching.